morning, beautiful people. Welcome to yet another episode of the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah, Wachera. I hope you guys are woken up well and are excited to face your day. Yeah? For me, I'm really excited for the conversation you're going to actually have today. As it is the norm here at the Younib Breakfast Show, let's go straight to the morning bite of the day. What happens when two different worlds come together under one roof? How do you build love, trust, and unity where there was once loss, separation, or new beginnings? Today we dive into a topic that many families silently navigate: blended families. Whether you're a step-parent, step-child, or navigating co-parenting, this conversation is for you. Let's talk about the lessons, the laughter, the awkwardness, and the beautiful blessings that come with blending a family. Remember, this show is proudly brought to you by Miss Your Ashen and Younib Organization, and we're trying to reach out to the community to teach you on matters mental health. So if you need any psychological help, you can always call the number 0700-352-250, and our very own psychologist will be able to help you out. Yeah. If you want to interact with us, maybe suggest conversations that you want to hear from us, you can always do so through our social media platforms. Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719-144-144. Without further ado, allow me to introduce the guests of the day. Yeah? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you feeling this morning? Papa?
Oh, I'm feeling good this morning. I'm very happy to be here again.
Okay, I'm also excited about the conversation we're having today. What about you, Valentine?
I feel okay. Excited to be here.
Okay, have a good time. Again, I'd like you guys to introduce yourselves, mostly for the new viewer who hawajui huyu ni nani. Maybe wamesikia tu nikisema Valentine, but they don't even understand who Valentine is. Yeah, we start from my left. Yeah, please kindly introduce yourself and tell us what you do here.
All right. Thank you, Peninah, for this opportunity. My name is Beulah Njagi. To that new viewer, I am a psychologist by profession. I'm currently attached to Psychosocial Support Center, that's PSC for short, where we strive to give you an open space to come and explore yourself. And we as PSC are very excited to be working with Younib Organization in this project that has allowed us to now meet virtually and, have these conversations about all things mental health, or really all things life and how they impact our mental health. And so, yeah, it's good to be here.
We are also happy that you're here.
Good morning, beautiful people. My name is Valentine Ndiwa. I am a psychologist by profession, working with the Younib Organization together with PSC to ensure that your mental wellness is catered for. And I'm really happy to grace your screen today so that we can talk about the topic of the day. Thank you.
Okay, we're also happy to have you here, yeah? So the conversation of the day today is about blended families, yeah? And Beulah, I'd like us to know what blended family is and also how common is it in today's world?
Right. So a blended family, we'll take it from the term blended. When you think of a blender, you put everything and mix. So when we're talking about a blended family, it's when families have merged where one partner or both partners come into the relationship with children from previous relationships. Could have been a marriage or could have just been, a relationship that ended for one reason or the other. And so these two people begin their family knowing that they are already children present. So whenever you hear the term blended family, we can also substitute it with step family, because we have stepmom, stepdad, stepbrother, stepsister. How common is it in today's world? I think right now there's a statistic I read that says 1 in 3 families, which sounds extremely common right now. I think I'd say because divorce rates are rising pretty much everywhere, not just in the Western world now. And also these days, it's very common now to have situations where people are just cohabiting. So you can walk out of your relationship, at any point in time. and enter a different one. And so that just increases the chances that there will be a lot more blended family, or that there are a lot more.
We've gotten to understand what a blended family is, yeah? And we've seen how common it is in today's society, mostly in today's world, yeah? So Valentine, how long does it typically take for a member of a blended family to adjust in a new family setup?
I would say that depends with the member or the members of the family themselves, because remember, this is a new, different environment, which maybe you're bringing the child or even you yourself. And when it comes to adjusting to that kind of an environment, it depends with the kind of expectations and how you as a family would like to live. So for the children, sometimes it's usually a bit difficult. Maybe you're not used to having a mother. Maybe your mother passed, and then your dad is introducing you to a different mother. Remember, she was not your mother initially. So even that message of now I have a mother, it may really, really disturb the child. And when it comes to the child coping with that, it will really take the effort of the father and even this new mother to ensure that this child fits well in that particular family. And you cannot give a duration, maybe in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, or 4 years' time. It just depends with the kind of effort that the father and even this mother would put into that child, to ensure that even as they are coming in as the mother, they are not intruding so much into the space of this child, so that this child doesn't have to have resentment towards this mother. You need to have that time to learn about each child. What does each child love? What does he or she want? So that you can now start living together as a family. So it's not about you coming and saying, no, I'm the mother. You have to do what I say because I'm your mother. So it depends with the kind of relationship that they will form with that child. Yeah.
Okay, I like the fact that you said that it depends on the relationship that they get to, or the connection that they get to build. Yeah. So Beulah, I wanted to ask this question. We've heard that the connection is really important, yeah, when it comes to building trust. So how can a parent who is now being introduced to stepchildren, yeah, how can they be able to build trust to the children and make them feel, okay, this is a safe zone?
Right. So I'll start with what Valentine has just said. It's very important that you don't come in trying to control. Siseme mimi ndio mama kutoka leo. You can't come in because, again, as Val has very well explained, this is a family that was used to a certain way of functioning. Probably the other parent was there and there was a separation or a divorce. Probably the parent passed away. Either way, this family had a way of functioning where either they knew both the parents or they were used to this one parent. And so this new family member coming in has to be very aware and conscious of that. Yeah. So you come in and try build relationship first, not trying to impose that they should call you mom even or dad, depending. Not trying to come in as imposing laws, but trying to actually get to know these children, actually spending time with them, giving them room to feel their feelings, because with blended families, there's already loss that has happened. Whatever the case that went, there is a loss that has happened there, and there needs to be grief for that loss. Often these children are confused. Some are angry, especially if they're older. There's sadness for whatever situation has happened. So you need to be aware and make room for these feelings to be felt. But I'd also say it takes a lot of teamwork with the two parents, the people in the relationship, yeah? Because as probably if it was the dad with the child and the mom is the one coming in now, he has to be the one to support, her entrance into this family, to help the children understand, perhaps even begin to have conversations with this new person. So it has to be a lot of teamwork, and it has to be very delicate, so that you don't let go of the rules so much that the children now don't have boundaries, but you also don't be so strict on them that they're not even allowed to feel their feelings, because there's a lot to process in that.
Okay. Interesting. I hope you're getting to understand the conversation of the day, which is blended families, yeah. And I remember watching a movie, yeah, and this child was from a blended family, yeah. And anytime, okay, in the it had part one and part two. So in part one, the child had already accepted the new dad, yeah, into the family, because she was like, "This is my cool dad," and all. But in the second part, this girl became a teenager, and after being a teenager, the dad had left the job, okay, and went, because he was doing missions when it comes to the military side, and he decided, okay, there's no need for me to be doing that, because now I have a family that I need to support. Now he opted to be like the person who car office sasa every single time, and this girl was like, why is he stopping everything? And she felt like this guy is really nagging and all, because he just wanted safety for the family. But in real sense, she was really like, "You're not even the real dad. What are you even talking about?" and all. But again, when it came to end, she saw the intentions of the dad, the stepdad, and finally she got to call her dad. Yeah. So in any case, there's always the kupanda shuka of everything, the positive, the negative. There will always be the rough side. Yes, somebody will accept you today. Tomorrow they feel like, "Ay, apana, you're still not my dad, you're still not my mom." But again, everything comes with its own challenges. Yeah. As we ponder on that, yeah, I want us to take a short break. But before that, I have the question of the day. And my question is, if you're in a blended family, what has been your biggest lesson or blessing so far? Please let us know through our social media platforms, Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719 144 144. Let's take this short break and we'll be back with more. Welcome back. This is still the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah, Wachera, and my lovely therapist here. And today we are getting to have a conversation on blended families. Yeah, before the break, I had asked a question, and the question of the day is: if you're in a blended family, what has been your biggest lesson or blessing so far? And I'll just go fast. I'll just go straight to sampling some of your feedback. Someone says, "I've learned that family isn't defined solely by blood. Opening up to new family members has taught me to how powerful love and acceptance can be, even when it comes in unexpected forms." Okay. Someone else says, "The biggest blessing for me has been the opportunity to embrace diverse traditions and stories. Every family member, biological or step, adds a unique twist to our shared narrative. enriching our lives in ways I never imagined. Someone else says, the biggest lesson for me was learning that love isn't limited to blood. My stepdad treats me like his own, and that has been such a blessing. Someone else says, patience. It takes time to build trust and connection, and forcing it only makes it harder. Let things unfold naturally. Someone else says, for me, it was realizing that we don't have to be a perfect family to be a real one. It's messy, but it's love. Someone else says, my step siblings are now some of my best friends. I never expected that kind of bond, but I'm so grateful for it. I'll just go straight and sample the last two. The journey hasn't been smooth, but learning how to navigate differences has made us all stronger as individuals. And the last one, for me, the blessing is the extra support system we have now. Having more adults involved means more perspectives, more advice, and more love around the table. It's been eye-opening to see how we all grow together. I like how there's positive feedback when it comes to the biggest lessons, yeah? Mm-hmm. And it's important. Kwanza, the last one, I feel like it's really good because, yeah, there's now more perspective. I get more advice from everyone. I get more support from everyone, which is a good thing, yeah? Do you guys have anything to speak about when it comes to the feedback?
Okay, I think for me it would just be to commend the viewers for some of the positive comments that they have shared with us, and I like the fact that one person said it takes a lot of patience and a lot of commitment to ensure that this whole family is working. So even in a normal kind of family, or what the society considers normal, the type of family where all of you maybe are related by blood, there are still challenges that are usually there. And sometimes the challenges that are usually faced by people in a blended family, there is quite a small kind of a difference compared to the one that what the society considers to be a normal type of a family relationship. So patience as well as respect will really go far in helping this family to live together. Then there is also this person who said that, yeah, there are times that you will disagree in one or two things, but at the end of the day, it takes a lot of hard work. So just like in a normal family, hard work is also required to ensure that everything is working in the family. Same case with the extended family, it also takes a lot of hard work.
Okay, Beulah.
I don't know if there's anything new to say. Yeah, because the highlight is just what the viewer shared and what Valentine has highlighted, that patience is very key, allowing things to just unfold naturally. So don't go, over trying to make things fit into probably the mental image that you create, because I think I'd say perhaps unrealistic expectations are one of the biggest challenges that a blended family can have. And once you have the expectations wrong, it means you go about it the wrong way and can actually cause more harm than good. So yeah, heavy on the patient.
Yeah. Okay, so it is saying that everything happens or everything starts from a family perspective. So it means there's somebody who says even stupidity will start from the family. Yeah. Someone else says even being wise and being more wiser comes from the family, because that's the basic unit, and it's basically who we have known for when we were growing up. Yeah. So the reason why I've decided to start with the family is because discipline will definitely start from the family, and now having a new parent to be able to discipline the rest, and the children seeing that it's from a positive side, can be really difficult, yeah, when it comes to blended families. So I'd like to know, how should a parent how should a parent handle discipline in a blended family, especially when it comes to children from different households?
Okay, that's a very important question, and I'll just say like what I said. Every parent had their own different parenting styles. Yeah. Maybe in that particular kind of the family, maybe if I go into a marriage and I have a child, there is a way that I'm used to disciplining my child. There are those who beat or caning the children, and maybe there is this other the other family or the other children are coming from now the man. He was not used to caning the children. So just like the way Beulah said, there is a lot of expectations that the two of us, the man and the lady who are in this relationship, should sit down and even create the rules on matters that pertain discipline. Because I don't want to come and beat your child and then the following day, because they are not my child per se, because I did not give birth to them, but they are still my child because of the fact that I am their new mom or I am their mother, and you're not used to beating them. So I'll try first to understand the kind of way that you used to discipline your child, so that if the way does not agree with the way that you are disciplining your child, all of us, we sit down and then we come to an agreement that this is how we are going to discipline our child, so that this child doesn't feel like ninaonewa or something of a sort. So it takes a lot of wisdom to even know how you're going to go about on the issues of discipline, because maybe me, I'll come with my own way. I would want to beat you, maybe to ground you, or I'll want to deny certain things in your life. Maybe you're not going to play computer games and all those kind of things. And you're not used to that form of discipline. So it takes the two of you, the lady and even the man, to come and sit down and decide that this is the way that we are going to discipline our child, or this is how I discipline my child, so that you can have an understanding of how to go about it, other than you coming and imposing your own way, because our parenting styles were very, very different.
Okay. Interesting. And I love the fact that we are getting to actually learn more about blended families. Yeah. And as we've had, blended families are just the same as normal families, because the same challenges will also take place in our normal families, as we call according to our today's society. Yeah. So as we ponder on the conversation we just had specifically, and mostly if you're a parent out there who is in a blended family, yeah, you can also inform us, how do you do parenting when it comes to discipline the children? How do you navigate it together? Do you work as a team with your husband? Do you decide, okay, this is the person who will be disciplining all the kids, and then this one will be the good parent, this one will be the bad parent? Please let us know through our social media platforms. But for now, let's take a short break, and we'll be back with more conversation about the topic of the day. Welcome back. This is still the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah Wachera, and I hope you guys are getting to learn more about blended families. Yeah, it's very important to actually have these conversations because more often than not, as Beulah told us in the first segment, that 1 out of 3 couples are blended families. Yeah, so it is important. It's a conversation that we should have. It's something that we should talk about, and mostly it is very important for our mental health. Mostly for everyone who is in a blended family. Yeah. So coming back to the conversation, and this question goes to you, Beulah. What red flags should families watch out for that may indicate unresolved issues?
That's a very good question. As you know, we've established the fact that there's a blended family means that there is loss that has happened somewhere, and that loss demands grieving. Hopefully, they watched the show Loss and Grief. This is where we shamelessly plug ourselves. But yes, where there is loss, there has to be grieving, and what we always say is that grief does not look the same for everybody, right? But when we are now in that situation and you're noticing there's been, we've given time, we've given process, but you're noticing probably the children are maybe withdrawing or they're acting out, because that's what children do when they're in distress or, when they're confused about something, or sometimes when they're regressing. So you notice that probably your children are still young, but maybe they had stopped bedwetting, and all of a sudden, now that there's a new person in the house, they've reverted to bedwetting, or, just a regression in developmental milestones. Then that probably means that there's a lot more that needs to be done in terms of processing. Sometimes when there is that lack of connection, either with the new parent that has come in, the step parent, or now even with the biological child, because when we talk about acting out, especially for teenagers, it means that they will be angry at everyone, the world, everything, And so that means a disconnection from perhaps even the family in its entirety. So the moment that there is disconnection, where there is withdrawal, especially by the children, where there is acting out, where there is regression in behavior, in developmental milestones, then probably those are maybe what we can call red flags. For the couple itself, when there is also no connection there, so you're not able to agree on, discipline or parenting, as Valentine was saying, all of a sudden now it's not just about that. It's not even things in your intimate relationship become, carried inakuwa ni mosho moja, even because you did this to my child. So now the relationship is also not working. I think also when you can hear it voiced from the kids or from the partners in the relationship, where there's favoritism. So someone is feeling like you're favoring your own child, especially if both of the partners came in with their children from past relationships. So it could be that the mom will be saying una favor watoto wako, the dad will be saying una favor wako, and then now it's not a family, now it's a coalition. It's two opposing parties trying to survive in the same house. So when there's some of those things, probably are what I would say there could be red flags or could be signs that there's more work that needs to be done here.
Okay, I love the fact that you've taken us there, because my next question, which goes to you, Valentine, is about how specifically we can how the couples in a blended family can be able to set clear boundaries and also expectations for the family.
Okay, thank you for that question. And a lot of it would go back into communication. Remember, nothing can work in this world without communicating. There is no way I would know what your feelings are, how you're doing, if you don't tell me or if you don't communicate that to me. So when it comes to setting clear expectations when it comes to the family, all of you have to sit down and communicate on what you think would really work in the family. So sit down, communicate, talk to each other, listen to each other. Most of the time, most people don't listen. We hear but don't listen, because listening will entail you and noticing even the emotional, even the psychological well-being of that particular person. But if you're not listening, you'll not be able to set clear expectations, you'll not be able to demand respect even in that family. So a lot of it would really work if the two of you are communicating. If communication is not there, then the other person is like assuming things, it may really not go well in the family. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. Beulah, when during this conversation, you've mentioned that blended family comes from either loss or there's divorce or just there's something that has been lost in one way or another. Yeah. So I'd like to know, what are effective ways to manage co-parenting with ex-partners when you are in a blended family?
Right. So now it's gotten more complicated.
Yeah.
To the expert.
Yes. So there is, let's say the lady has a child, has remarried, is now with
Another person.
Yes, and they still have to co-parent with the partner, the parent of this child.
Who has another person.
Who probably has another partner. Right, and it does actually get as complicated as that.
Yeah.
So what is needed there is very clear communication and understanding from these two parents, the biological parents of this child, that I know sometimes when we mention exes, a lot of heated up emotions come up too in a lot of people, especially when a child is involved and probably we don't know the entire story. But these two, when it comes to the well-being of a child, these two people need to remember that they are the adults, and the priority is the safety and the well-being of this child. And so what that means is, let's keep the conversation about this child. Let's not relate as if we're trying to uncover or blame or even, give the child bad sides of each parent. Let's focus on parenting this child. So that means there are clear boundaries there. There are clearly spelled out roles and expectations. How are we, splitting time with the child? What are finances looking like when it comes to the child? What is discipline looking like? Akienda, to the dad's house, akienda to the mom's house. What remains the same? What routines can be set in both of these households that ensure that this child, even though there's a lot of confusion, that we are kind of safeguarding the well-being of this child. And that happens through routines, that happens through clear boundaries, and that can only be achieved if these two people can have clear communication. Yeah.
Okay, so as we are concluding this conversation, I'd like to hear from you guys the parting shot of this conversation. Tutaanza kwako, Valentine.
Okay. I think my parting shot would be to the society. A lot of us do pass judgments to people who are into blended family, and especially I think in our African cultures and all, like maybe the lady might be perceived as being promiscuous and all those kind of things. And then people do not understand. So there is a lot of stigma that usually come, especially to the lady. I don't know why that happens. Most of the time, it's like a lady, you should ensure that it's just one man, you stay with one man for the rest of your life. So if you see that a person has found themselves, maybe they lost their previous marriages and they entered into a previous marriage, there is no need of judging that person. It's very important that most of us learn to encourage that person, because we don't know what led into their marriages breaking or even that family's breaking. So as a society, let's not be quick into judging. Sometimes we do judge unconsciously because that's how we have been taught as a society. So blended family works, it works out perfectly, and it works out just like any other family.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, Beulah, what is your parting shot?
Oh, well, that's really important. That's true. Yeah. I think my parting shot would go out to the adults or the partners in the blended family. Initiate conversation, communicate, talk. As Val has said, it works as any other family, and every family, every relationship thrives on communication. So keep talking about what is working, about what is not working, about what is frustrating. And the moment you guys are able to talk amongst the two of you, it also becomes easy to involve the children in this communication, in this talk. That if they can see that you're also learning, that you're also maybe confused, that you're also, understanding this change along with them, it helps it become easier for all of you, because you understand that all of you are in a new thing. Yeah, so let's keep the conversations, the communication, the things you may not even want to say. Let's just keep those channels open.
Okay, awesome. I love your parting shots because they all speak of something that is really important in the blended families. Yeah. So thank you so much for coming and helping us understand the blended families. And I hope, as we've been told, that we'll be able to work on our communication skills, and also we, as a society, we should not be very quick to judge and to also put labels on these families. Yeah, because it does something to them. But in short, blended families do work, and they're really good when it's good communication, and when good work is done in it. Yeah. So thank you so much again once more for coming and helping us understand the conversation. Yeah. Yes. And to everyone who has made this show a success, thank you so much, Elias, for being our director and also our camera person. Asante sana for the good work you're doing. And to our viewers, thank you for always tuning into the Younib Breakfast Show, for always sending in your insights, for always sending in your feedback. We are really, really grateful. Yeah. And as today we ponder on this conversation, as we think about this conversation on blended families, we can also take the opportunity and ask ourselves, if we are in a blended family, what is this blessing that has come to this new family? Yeah. Until next time, do have yourselves a beautiful day ahead. Goodbye.